within weeks.
I was amazed that I could start having real-life conversations right away. It was so fast. Now I'm speaking Spanish. Woohoo!
No wonder Babbel is the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Try it for yourself and see why Babbel is the quick way to get conversational in a new language, like Spanish, French, or more. You can try Babbel for free. Go to Babbel.com or download the app and try it for free. That's Babbel, Babbel.com, or download the app to try it for free. That's Babbel.com.
A federal appeals court in California is rejecting a bid from the former sheriff of Los Angeles to appeal his conviction.
Lee Baca ran the country's largest sheriff's department for over 15 years. He's now 76 years old and suffering from Alzheimer's disease. Baca was sentenced in 2017 to 3 years in federal prison after a jury found he helped run a plan to impede an FBI investigation into abuse in L.A. County jails and that he lied to the FBI about his role. His attorneys appealed. Baca has remained free during that appeal, but now a 3-judge panel ruling the trial was fair and the conviction will stand. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The Cleveland Browns are defending signing a running back who is apologizing.
It don't really matter what happened. I was in the wrong.
Kareem Hunt apologized for his actions after surveillance cameras showed him pushing a young woman, then kicking her as she squats on the floor of a Cleveland hotel. A year later, the Cleveland Browns signed him, saying the team understands the complexity of questions and issues it raises. The Browns said they do not condone his actions, but noted he took full responsibility for them. In a statement, Hunt apologized again and said he's committed to becoming a better and healthier person. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
Michelle Carter, a Massachusetts woman convicted of urging her boyfriend to take his life in 2014 through text messages, has begun serving a 15-month jail sentence today. This is ABC News.
It's time to join the millions of people using Zoom video conferencing. Turn any size conference room, huddle room, or executive office into a Zoom room with flawless HD video, crystal clear audio, and instant wireless sharing. It'll even work with your existing hardware. Start your meetings with a single touch or use Zoom's new voice command feature. Hey Zoom, start meeting. Huddle happy. Visit Zoom.us to set up your free Zoom room trial today. That's Zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
From the studios of WBONTV.com, here's what's happening. A flood watch remains in effect through Tuesday afternoon for all of our listening area. Rainfall of 2 to 2.5 inches is expected from tonight through Tuesday morning. This can lead to flooding, especially in low-lying areas, and there's also a threat for mud and rock slides that will continue through Tuesday afternoon. WBON-TV interviewed 2 stars from Kentucky who were featured on the Discovery Channel's Moonshiner show. In the interview that you can see now up on the website, Jeff Edwards and Donnie Benton explained their efforts in bringing tourism into Kentucky. Benton grew up in Old Landing, Kentucky, and his grandfather was a moonshiner. Benton's girlfriend, Teresa Coomer Mays, grew up on Logshore Hollow in Lee County. All will be featured, as well as the other moonshiner, Jeff Edwards from Georgia, on the show on Discovery Channel on Wednesdays. Richmond police arrested a Madison County man over the weekend and charged him with multiple charges, including extortion, criminal mischief, and terroristic threatening. According to the arrest citation, a victim called police in reference to Danielle Middleton, who apparently showed up at the residence accusing her of stealing $500 as well as drugs from him. Middleton allegedly told the victim he was going to send his goons to torture the woman by nail-gunning her feet to the floor and then beating her until she gave up the drugs and money. Middleton told police as he was being detained that he was only bluffing and he meant no harm to the victim and that he just wanted his money back. And a 4th female overdose occurred within the confines of the Madison County Detention Center. According to jailer Steve Tussey, the incident occurred around 2 a.m. on Saturday. Although jailer Tussey could not confirm that this was related to last week's overdoses, there is still an active investigation in order to garner more information. At this time, they are still working to ascertain the source of the drugs. Tussey released that it was in fact a female that overdosed this time, and she did have to have Narcan administered. However, she did not lose a pulse, as 2 of the women did previously from the overdoses last Wednesday night. The woman was transported to the hospital for care and then released to the detention center. Tussey says he has solutions that he wishes to bring to the Madison County Fiscal Court in order to address this issue. For more stories such as these, be sure to visit Richmond's very own WBONTV.com. I'm Marissa Hempel.
You've seen WBON TV's coverage of your local high school sports. You may have seen some of WBON TV's local content on Facebook. We're hearing from thousands of you how much you're enjoying everything local. To see all WBON TV has to offer, all the local news stories, all the local feature stories, all the local sports, and other locally originated programming, it's so easy. Just stream the live player at WBONTV.com to your smart TV or watch us on Roku. Don't miss the great local content like WBON TV's High School Game of the Week, the Wallingford Sports Show with Michael Watkins and Samantha Burford, featuring all the news about our local student athletes and area sports programs. You'll find your Greater Richmond Area News Brief each morning and afternoon with all the local news you need to know in 2 minutes. You'll love Julie Tussey's fabulous cooking show and Beyond the Call, hosted by Richmond Police Officer Josh Hale. All this and more available 24/7 and on demand on our Roku channel. Thanks for watching Richmond's very own WBON TV, and remember, always share.
Tonight on the Wallingford Sports Show, Dave Redding will join us to discuss the upcoming Media versus Berea College basketball game on Sunday. Plus, we'll talk about Mr. Basketball, and we'll make the case for Isaiah Cozart. And Alan Cutler will join us to talk about Kentucky basketball's big week. All that coming up right now and more on the Wallingford Sports Show.
This is a special sports presentation of the Wallingford Broadcasting Company.
Sports fans, it's time for the Wallingford Sports Show. The Wallingford Sports Show is served up by Buffalo Wild Wings and also brought to you in part by Jack Burford Chevrolet, the law office of Patrick O'Neill, King Brothers Used Cars, and Honchels. Now let's go live inside the Jack Burford Chevrolet studios discussing the hottest sports topics around. Here are your hosts, Michael Watkins and Samantha Burford.
Once again in the traveling Jack Burford Chevrolet studios, not in studio once again because tonight at Madison Central, the Indians are going to take on a team with only 2 losses, Samantha. South Laurel makes their way into Richmond today to take on Madison Central. Should be a very fun basketball game.
It's a good game going on right now.
Freshman game going down to the wire. A 2-point lead for Madison Central, making it a 3-point lead with 2:48 to play. But all that tonight coming up on WBON TV. But first, as we do every Monday from 6 to 7, the Wallingford Sports Show. And today, getting things started with Dave Redding, who is in charge of the media basketball game coming up this Sunday. And Dave, first of all, kind of give us an idea of where you're from and kind of how this idea started for the media basketball team.
I guess you want to know where I'm from so people understand.
There you go, yeah.
I've already asked him, so...
Well, originally I'm from the northwest of England, and believe it or not, basketball is not my first sport. Soccer's my background, but obviously once you move over here, I've been over here just over 20 years now, you just get involved in the sport of basketball.
Yeah.
If you live in around Lexington, you can't not be.
It's either that or horse racing, pretty much.
Horse racing as well, but I don't get to do that so often. I used to make regular donations to Keelan, but I've not been out in quite a while.
I think we've all been there.
We've all done that, yeah.
So, but,
that's how they stay open.
Exactly.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'm originally from the northwest of England. I've been over here just over 20 years. I'm a freelance photographer myself.
Okay.
Doing predominantly high school sports, but I've done some university stuff and other things. Been published in a few newspapers around Kentucky and a couple in Tennessee as well. So that's my contact with the media.
Okay.
What we do is we play 2 to 3 games a year. And we normally challenge high school staff teams. So the theory is that people who we play against should work for the school that we are playing against.
Okay.
We do every now and again allow slight changes from that, if you like.
Ringers to come in?
Well, if you want to call them ringers. Last year, for instance, we played Sayre, and Rex Chapman played against us.
Oh, wow.
So did Steve Zahn, so it just about levelled up the playing
At least it wasn't
field.
Sam Bowie. I know his son played for Sayre last year.
They were thinking about putting Sam out as well.
Man.
But Sam wasn't in town for the day. So.
You were thanking everyone
God,
for that.
But that game went down to overtime, and then we got beaten in overtime. But it was a good game. We did it for a charity called I think it was called Miracle on East Main. It was a charity that collects toys for Christmas. We played previous to Christmas.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So we try to play for different charities every time we play. And all we want to do is basically just come out, have a bit of fun. It really isn't much more than a pick-up game.
Yeah.
But everybody who plays in it seems to enjoy it. and we charge $5 to get in, and every penny we take on the door goes to the charity.
Now, this Sunday, we're going to be playing over in Berea, and for the first time in about a year, Samantha, I'm going to be lacing them back up to join Dave and Tristan Reynolds, another employee with WBON-TV, and Grendelin will be there with us as well as we take on the Berea College team. So talk about the game this Sunday, and the Special Olympics of Madison County will be receiving the gate and all that stuff going on this Sunday.
Yeah, that's correct. To be honest with you, Berea College did us a favour. We were negotiating with another school, and we thought we got it locked up, and then the school, essentially out of the blue, told us that they didn't think they could fit us in. So we were scrambling for what should have been our third opponent. We should have played Jessamine County in January, but because the school got closed down for sickness, that game's been kicked back to the following
Next
Sunday,
weekend,
actually. Yeah. So we played 2 games in 8 days. So Berea College came in and said, we don't mind playing you if you don't mind playing a college, which we'd never done before. So we're like, yeah, what the heck, why not? You know, like we don't mind getting beat by anybody.
Just thinking about watching you guys try to take on Berea College.
Well, now it's at 1:30 this Sunday at Berea College Gym.
Yeah, 1:30 tip.
1:30 tip. It'll be $5 to get in the door, so everybody come out there, and it'll be a great thing going on this Sunday. You'll get to see maybe some of us make a fool of it ourselves that haven't played ball in a while, but it's for a great cause. A great way to help support the Special Olympics of Madison County, and they have their own kind of basketball team as well. I know they had a tournament, I think, a couple of weeks ago. They were actually here playing at halftime of a Madison Central game, so they have their own basketball team as well.
We're actually trying to get one of the Madison County Special Olympics teams to come out and do a short halftime game.
Yeah.
Possibly 3-on-3.
Okay.
Just for 4 minutes, 5 minutes, to help us show the audience who they're supporting, what they're supporting.
That is a great idea.
It's a great
idea.
And
we've also got, I've not locked him in yet. I spoke to him yesterday, but we've got a local guy from Berea called Donny, I forgot his last name, it'll come to me. But he's going to come out and do the national anthem as a guitar solo.
Oh, wow.
So,
that is awesome.
That'll be sweet.
Well, I'm just glad you didn't ask Tristan to sing it, because everybody would get up and leave then if he was to get up and sing the national anthem. So.
I've seen Tristan on karaoke.
Oh, yeah. It's a little rough, isn't it?
That's why
he ain't here, so we can make fun of him. He ain't here right now. So we might hear about it tomorrow, but he ain't here right now.
It's not a call-in show, is it?
Not whenever we're on site. So yeah, we're good right now.
We're in the studio, people call in, but not today.
I was going to say, if your phone rings, it'll be Tristan.
Oh, now that could be it.
Yeah. Well, Dave, let's talk about kind of how this idea came about. What made you want to start doing this?
Well, originally, our very first game was 2015, and Bryan Station softball had the concession stand and equipment room burned down.
Okay.
And what we did was, myself and Keith Farmer, who's also originally from Richmond, got together and said, do you think we could build a team and go and challenge Bryan Station staff and help them raise a little bit of money to, we'd never rebuild it from what we were doing, but at least get
help
them
get a start,
get more money. But not only that, bring up the awareness again.
Bring attention to it.
Because it was 2 months after the fire, and they'd still not got anything rebuilt. The fire, I believe, was the back end of November, around Thanksgiving. We played mid to back end of January.
Okay.
So 2 months later, they'd still not rebuilt the facility. And we had Brian Milan from 27 played in that game. We had Harold Leader represented. We had both 36 with Alex Risen, who's no longer there, but he played in that game. Keith played in that game. So we had all 3 TV stations from Lexington. We had the main newspaper, and we got some awareness for the situation, as well as raising $800 for them.
Now let me ask you a question. Whenever you have like an LEX 18 and you've got a person from 27 and ABC, do they ever have a little bit of a rivalry within their own team?
To be honest with you, it's different. If you go out and you do media, you're actually more friendly with each other than you are rivals, because you bump into each other at the games.
See each other at all the stories and all the games.
That's it. Yeah. So you stand there when there's a dead spot and you have a chin wag, and hey, where else are you going tonight? Where have you just come from? What was the score? Stuff like that. So it's not as much a rivalry as it is a friendship within the media.
Yeah.
To be honest
that's
with you.
true.
So has anybody gotten hurt?
Not really.
Torn ACLs, broken
No, we don't have anything.
knees,
Like I said, it's more a pickup game.
elbows, black eyes.
Nobody goes hell for leather in our games, I'll tell you that. We did play Henry Clay once, and the first, straight from the tip-off, was a reverse bounce pass and a windmill dunk. We were 2-0 down to a windmill dunk.
Wow. Well, I will say this. There is absolutely 0% chance that if I get the ball, there will be a windmill dunk. Maybe a between the legs, but not a windmill dunk.
But to answer your question, I think the worst we've had was a rolled ankle.
Yeah.
And that was in the first game against Bryan Station. And, you know, it was going up for a rebound, and he came down funny and rolled his ankle. He was okay within 10 minutes.
Yeah. Just walking down the stairs sometimes.
Dave, is there anywhere people can go to get more information about these games?
I run, we have what's called a secret group for the media players on Facebook, and out of that we produce what's called a Facebook event.
Okay.
So if you go on Facebook and you look for events and just put Lexington Media or Berea College staff, that should bring up Sunday's event.
Okay. And once again, tell the folks where we're going to be at, the time, and where the proceeds will go to benefit.
Yep, we're going to be taking on Berea College staff. So the theory is that everybody who plays for Berea College should work there. We're tipping off at 1:30. I believe doors open at 12:45. I'm not sure if concessions are available, but they normally are when we do these games. So you can come either straight from church, or you can go home, get changed, come out and still eat while watching the game.
There you go.
Door admission again is $5 to get in, and every penny we make on the door goes straight to our charity, which for this game is Special Olympics.
There you go, Samantha.
Are you going to roll up your shorts or anything like the LSU players
I'm thinking about putting
doing?
a shooting sleeve on and maybe a headband.
Yeah.
And I do
some
want
new tennis shoes.
I've not played in a while, and I'm hoping that Gwendolyn and Tristan don't tell everybody how bad I am. But we are going to take a camera and get some highlights. So if you watch the show next Monday, you're probably going to see some highlights or maybe the lack thereof
Embarrassing
of some
moments,
of our folks. So we got Keith Farmer. There's some pretty cool people coming down. Charlie Walter from KYT as well. So it'll be a fun day.
We've got Keith Farmer, Charlie Walter, Kyla Mills from LAX 18. We've got Austin Miller from Channel 36.
Yeah.
We've got Josh Sullivan representing the Lexington Herald Leader. Ivan Rice represents the Bourbon County Citizen out of Paris.
Yeah.
He's played in every game since he started with us. And if anybody wants to come out and support us as opposed to Berea, we'll be playing in green.
We'll be wearing the green shirt, so make sure to wear green when you come and cheer for us.
Hope you don't mind me mentioning it, but our shirts are sponsored by Kentucky Bank.
Yeah, that's fine.
And Kentucky Bank have a presence in Madison County.
Yeah, exactly.
They do.
So they were happy to get on board and support us with shirts for us to play in
that is
this
awesome.
season.
That is 1:30 this Sunday, folks. If you can make it out, hang out with us and have some fun this Sunday at Berea College. We'll take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk about Madison Central and South Laurel. And today, the Mr. Basketball and Mrs. Basketball were announced from each region. Isaiah Cozart made that list. We'll take a look at that and give our case as to why Isaiah should win that award. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Wallingford Sports Show.
At King Brothers Used Cars in Winchester, you don't have to worry about the hassles of dealing with an aggressive salesman. They strive to make you feel comfortable and help you find the car you're looking for at the best price possible. Stop by today and get your key and drive off in a new-to-you vehicle from King Brothers Used Cars on West Lexington Avenue in Winchester, or stop by their Facebook page for updates and their website, kingbrotherscars.com, to check out their inventory. King Brothers Used Cars, family-owned and time-tested since 1966.
Ponchels in Irvin is your year-round stop for Carhartt, Izod, Lee jeans, and boots. Prepare yourself for hunting with a huge selection of Carhartt bibs, coats, and other hunting gear. Don't forget about the big selection of hunting and work boots from Wolverine, Justin, Rocky, and more. As always, Honchels carries all the latest in Kentucky and Estill Engineer apparel and Skechers and New Balance for the little ones. The same great staff, same great personalized service always at Honchels on the Richmond Road in Irvin.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills. When you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
You know the Chevy Silverado is a real pretty truck, but it's not just a real pretty truck. Get a real truck. Get a Chevy Silverado. Visit jackburford.com 24/7 and be sure to subscribe to the Jack Burford Chevrolet YouTube channel.
Escape to sports with Buffalo Wild Wings. GM Tommy Martin invites you to come watch your favorite team play at Buffalo Wild Wings, the best game day atmosphere and happy hour in town. Menu items as low as $2 each weekday 2 to 7 and again 10 till close. Plus wing specials every Tuesday and Thursday. Don't forget to ask your server about the Blazing Rewards program and see how you can earn free food. Buffalo Wild Wings, Richmond Center.
Me on Facebook and Twitter too. Thanks for watching and listening.
The Coyote.
We are live on the stations of Wallingford Broadcasting, WEKY, WKXO, WIRV, and streaming live on WBON TV, and we're glad to have you along with us tonight. We are served up every Monday night by Buffalo Wild Wings. Folks, don't forget, March Madness is right around the corner. Get on over to Buffalo Wild Wings and grab yourself something to eat while you watch every game during the NCAA tournament. And we come at you every single Monday night from the traveling Jack Burford Chevrolet studios, because we are no longer ever in the actual studios, which is fine with us. I love being out and about.
We actually do like being out on the road. It gets a bigger audience. We get to invite more people to be on the show. It's a lot of fun.
Look at this guy over here. He's just laid back, got his feet propped up.
He rolls in right when we're starting.
I mean, you know what? Alan Cutler. First of all, we're going to get to Kentucky later on. They got a huge week this week.
Yep. Big week.
But today, the rankings or whatever that were released for the Mr. Basketball and Mrs. Basketball candidates from the state of Kentucky, and Isaiah Cozart made that list. Now, you and I have been trying to build him up for the last month or so.
And should be.
Exactly right. He has been such an amazing player for Madison Central for this program. But now maybe starting to get a little bit more recognition.
He's getting more play.
But I still feel like it's not enough.
Okay. Do you want an honest comment that'll ruffle some feathers?
Sure.
Okay. If Madison Central today, instead of being 14-12, were, let's say, 20-5 or something, he'd be getting more love.
Yeah.
That's not a disrespect to Allen or the program, because Allen, 30 years from now, will be still deemed as one of the greatest high school coaches, not in the state, but Allen is even better than I thought he was. Because I've watched him, little things that he changes and stuff like that. But that's life, as we know it.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing we all have seen many, many times. The other thing is, and I'll be honest, and I don't feel bad about this, because until you see it, you can't judge it. This kid is better than I thought. Now, number one, I knew he'd be better just because, junior to senior. Number two, I remember walking in the gym, I think it was a scrimmage, because I just wanted to watch him just try to get familiar with the kids. I went, oh, my gosh.
Right.
Yeah, because he is so much bigger than last year. And I'm talking to Alan. I said, dude, what happened to your skinny kid? And he had this big smile on his face, and he said he's like 235, 238. He looks every bit of it.
Yes.
And the third thing is, I have this pet peeve. It just ticks me off, and it has nothing to do with Cozart himself, but it's a general thing. One, the refereeing has not been as good as I expected.
Yeah.
Now that I see it up live.
I never harp on the officials.
And I'm not trying to be nasty. Actually, I gave Jeff Davis, the opposing coach, I threw him my idea, and he loves it. If you want, I'll share it with you. How to change high school refereeing in the state forever.
That
Seriously.
is well needed.
You want me to go into that?
We're to the point anymore where you just get used to it.
Yeah.
Back
No.
calls,
Here's what you do. Tell me if
refs.
you. Okay. Yeah, Sam, you've been around me a little, but you'll tell me if you disagree.
Okay.
You're going to love this idea. The KHSAA should have somebody in their office send yearly emails to all coaches in college, male and female. Male and female. Let me make that perfectly clear and say, hey, when your kids graduate, we're going to put on a weekend camp for free, sponsored by the KHSAA, and they'll get a sponsor or something like that, whatever, and you're going to have some top-notch officials there at the camp and expose these kids to say, hey, do you want to make a couple extra bucks to stay close to the game when you graduate?
That's a great idea.
Do I think you get 40 or 50 at the camp? Yes. Do I think you get 40 or 50 referees? No. Do I think you get 3 to 5? I think that's a low number.
Yeah.
Every year.
Right.
Now think about it. Is it going to change in 1 year? No. Visualize 8-9 years from now. Now all of a sudden you have, in all probability, another 25 to 45 officials under the age of 35 that are being incorporated into the system. That's one. The second thing I would do and now that I'm doing this and talking to high school coaches and prepping, you know, one of the complaints I get from, I'm not going to say names, whatever, but I've heard this from so many coaches. Wherever you go, I don't care, the calls should be the same. And what I'm hearing is from coaches that you respect and you respect, who will privately tell me the same thing, just whatever it is, I want to know what to expect. Because in this county, it's called this way. In this county, it's called this way. In this county, this way. I do not understand why it's uniform. Now, if somebody makes a mistake, they make a mistake. Now, here's the other thing. And I'm not saying this, Sam, because you're sitting here. Why are there no women referees? And please don't give me this crap that women can't referee, because that's nonsense.
Well, you're just now getting it in the NFL.
But the NFL is different. And with all due respect, the NFL, to get to that level,
you should have to go through a process.
That's true.
Instead of going down to up.
She's probably been at this level, high school football, and has worked her way up.
And I'm with you. Excuse me for banging on you. But
there should be.
I know, I'm a hand talker, too. There should be. I don't know about equal. The equal schmeequal is silly. I mean, some years, honestly, if there were 5 refs, could I see one year maybe 3 being female? Yes. Could I see the next year maybe 1 or 2 being? In other words, it's not an equal thing. Who wants to do it? And I got to tell you, if in 3 years there were 15 good refs and 12 were women, what do I care?
Yeah.
The point is,
as long as they're good.
Yes, that's all I've ever cared about. That's all I cared about. Are you good?
Right.
But there's, how many games have we done together? This 10 games or something like that?
10 to 15, somewhere through there.
We have done 15. Okay,
feels like 30. No.
It feels like 150. Help me out here. I don't recall for varsity 1 female ref. Am I wrong?
Not here. Now, I will say this. So, I've seen some female referees doing girls' games. I've never seen.
You know what? And that's fine. But if you're good, you can do the boys' games.
Exactly.
See that? That drives me. If you're good, you're good.
Now I'll tell you my biggest pet peeve with officiating. Okay, so I played in the 14th region up in Eastern Kentucky, and I've done several games on air for the last 10 years. From games in the 14th region, where teams that I've covered have gone to the 13th region, to the 12th region. Now being up here the last few years, I've seen the 11th region, the officiating that we have here. It is literally different in every single region that you go to. And how, if you're a coach, can you tell your guys, well, we play this way normally. When we're going to the 12th region or to the 14th region, we have to play a completely different way. Here in the 11th region, for the most part, they let them play a little bit more. They're more physical. You're allowed to kind of get up in somebody's face and be up in your face defensively. Over in the 14th region, you can barely tap somebody and it is a foul.
Call a foul.
So it's different no matter where you go.
But they also know that certain teams play more physical, and so they're looking for that. And typically you'll have a player that does play, like Scott County and even Central. They play a little more physical.
You know what?
Most years.
Can I give you a yes and a no?
Yeah.
I don't think most of these officials know. I just don't think they do. I think they come into a game. They know, let's say, like a veteran official.
We probably know, but they don't.
And a veteran
Which is
official.
surprising.
You're right, but a veteran official will know, for example, Alan Feldhouse always plays man-to-man. You've been around forever, you get it. But as far as what the particular team is, I think they pick it up when they first see him that year. And I'm going to defend the officials in here. Why? Here's why. Alan lost 4 big players from last year.
Right.
Okay. Jeff Davis, who's won 24 games this year, he lost 4 players from last year. So in defense of them, these guys are not going to do any homework. They're just not.
They just show up.
Yeah, and by the way,
and try to call a fair game.
Yeah, and I have
on their behalf.
I have no problem with them not getting paid enough money, and it's not their living, and so I'm not going to knock them for that, because if you're good, you adjust to what's happening. The coaches should be able to tell their kids, this is how it's going to be ref tonight. You know, my fear for Allen. Look, the truth is, if you're playing a playoff game and Madison Central can win, and you have refs from the other part of the state, and they decide to go tight on Cozart, 2 things happen. 1, the truth is, he gets hit on offense and doesn't get called. 2, he sometimes goes over the back and gets away with it.
Yeah.
I could see the wrong refs not knowing Cozart. All of a sudden, that kid has 3 fouls in the first half because it's a different ref, and now Madison Central's got no shot of winning.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying baby him, but, you know, you take this kid out of the game and Madison Central has no shot. No disrespect to anybody else. And if you get the wrong refs, why should Cozart have to change his game for an official? It should be the same for everybody.
Well, keep that thought in mind. We really didn't get into the topic of the Mr. Basketball Award, but we will get into that. Like a commercial break when we come back.
And a legend. We're going to have a legend on the air tonight.
That'll work. Perfect.
And it's not Sam. And it's not me. But it might be you, Michael.
You.
Oh, no.
Definitely not him.
Thank you, Sam. You saved me from having to say that.
I can say it and get away with it.
When we come back, we'll talk to Alan
and
Samantha.
Because I hear you're good at it. You need to, Michael.
She can.
But I want to hear it. I'm on the air with you. I want to hear Sam go, because I think I treat you too nicely. You know what? I've just decided with Sam here, so we have a witness. Our honeymoon is over. I have been way too nice to you. You're done. As a matter of fact, from now on,
I feel like we're building
you're
a wall.
done.
We're building a wall right
The goat
here.
and the moose are going to have their
and
first
we don't
bat
even need
tonight.
$5 billion to do it.
That's true.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere. Live
Don't
from
go
Madison
anywhere.
Central, served up by Buffalo
You
Wild
riled
Wings.
me up
This is
there,
the
Michael.
Wallingford Sports Show.
You're in trouble.
At King Brothers Used Cars in Winchester, you don't have to worry about the hassles of dealing with an aggressive salesman. They strive to make you feel comfortable and help you find the car you're looking for at the best price possible. Stop by today and get your key and drive off in a new-to-you vehicle from King Brothers Used Cars on West Lexington Avenue in Winchester, or stop by their Facebook page for updates and their website, kingbrotherscars.com, to check out their inventory. King Brothers Used Cars, family-owned and time-tested since 1966.
Ponchos in Irvin is your year-round stop for Carhartt Eyeside Lee jeans and boots. Prepare yourself for hunting with a huge selection of Carhartt bibs, coats, and other hunting gear. Don't forget about the big selection of hunting and work boots from Wolverine, Justin, Rocky, and more. As always, Honchos carries all the latest in Kentucky and Estill Engineer apparel and Skechers and New Balance for the little ones. The same great staff, same great personalized service always at Honchos on the Richmond Road in Irvin.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
You know the Chevy Silverado is a real pretty truck, but it's not just a real pretty truck. Get a real truck. Get a Chevy Silverado. Visit jackburford.com 24/7 and be sure to subscribe to the Jack Burford Chevrolet YouTube channel.
Escape to sports with Buffalo Wild Wings. GM Tommy Martin invites you to come watch your favorite team play at Buffalo Wild Wings, the best game day atmosphere and happy hour in town. Menu items as low as $2 each weekday 2 to 7 and again 10 till close. Plus wing specials every Tuesday and Thursday. Don't forget to ask your server about the Blazing Rewards program and see how you can earn free food. Buffalo Wild Wings, Richmond Center.
Back on the Wallingford Sports Show, Samantha Burford along with Alan Cutler and myself, Michael Watkins.
You know what's sad? I'm interrupting you on purpose. I'm going to do that a lot tonight, just to rile you. That song, the Bee Gees, was a hit and you weren't born.
That's one of my favorites.
Oh, what's sad is I probably was.
You were.
Well, that's one of my all-time favorites. Staying Alive.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you know what? While we got a second, so today, me, Sawyer, and Austin back in our office, we were getting on the discussion of, is there a song that makes you cry? Anytime you hear it, is there a song that makes you cry? Have you got one?
Like manly cry.
I'm talking about just like tearing up, makes you think of some sad
You know
stuff.
what you're going to cry to? Have you heard the song Butterfly Kisses?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
see.
wait till your daughter
Well, you know, I'm
gets
not talking about
married,
that. I'm
she
talking about
plays
just
something like that.
anytime you hear. So,
Oh, like on the radio. It just
Yeah,
I hope he's still alive when his daughter gets married.
all of this.
to me, the name of the song, that song, you know, whenever they have like the puppies and they're trying to get the puppies adopted, that song by Sarah McLachlan.
Oh, yeah, when that
In the Arms
commercial
of an Angel.
comes on.
Yeah, how about that song is sad.
Don't you just want to, like, give all your
I
money?
want to adopt all the puppies.
I
Yeah.
have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm older than you.
Well, I don't want to sing it to you.
Please don't.
Yeah.
It
We
comes
already
on
tried-
television ever so often, this commercial, and it's Sarah McLachlan, and she's singing, and it's about adopt puppies and cats, and yeah, it is sad.
Okay, so have I not solved the referee problem?
You have.
I think you have. I think you have.
I mean,
solved it.
seriously,
Yeah.
we
It's a
can-
great idea.
But you can't fix it in 1 year.
Get
No,
some
it's-
younger
Well,
guys in here.
Younger guys and gals.
Yeah,
5-6
and
years,
gals, right.
all of a sudden, you would see 30 to 40 young refs, all under the age of 30. What would happen, some of the veterans refs, I'll just say it, some of these refs would lose some weight. And
In
when
better
they're
shape, yeah.
being, they'd have to be
And
in
take their
better
job
shape.
more serious. That's the biggest thing.
Well, you know, I don't think these guys are lazy intentionally, and I think they think they're trying hard. Everybody in athletics needs to be pushed.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing is a bunch of officials who think they're better than they are and are not being pushed. So instead of saying I want to get rid of a bunch of officials, I really don't. But I'd like to see some of these guys, because I don't see any gals. I'd like to see some of these guys get pushed and say, okay, maybe I need to lose a little weight in the offseason. Maybe I need to pay a little bit more attention. And they can become better refs, and it would all be elevated. But there's nothing I've been more disappointed in the refereeing. And by the way, not because we do Madison Central against or for Madison Central. I mean in general.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Just in all games.
Oh, there was underneath the bucket. Kozart was underneath the bucket, and the kid behind him took two hands and literally pushed him. He knocked. First of all, Kozart's I've heard 250. I don't know about that. I don't think he saw him.
Yeah.
He got knocked literally not on the ground, but off his feet, and I think because he didn't see him. I mean, he moved 2 feet.
And the official was literally 2 steps
and
away
didn't call
from
it.
him. Yeah.
And I thought Allen was going to have a heart. About 5 or 6 times this year, I thought Allen was going to have a heart attack.
2 or 3 times in that one game, in the Lake Scott game.
Well, he got on one of the officials, and he didn't stop, and the official took it because guess what?
He knew.
He knew it was wrong.
Yeah, he knew he was wrong.
You want to hear Alan Feldhouse when we're in the Berea Gymnasium? It's round. You been in there?
No.
We can be way up there, and you can hear every word he says.
See, that's why I like doing the games on the floor, because I find him very entertaining.
Yes.
Listen, so we've been talking about Mr. Basketball, Mrs. Basketball. So I'm going to tell you why, when in the MVP vote in the NBA, it's normally the best player that year. When a lot of times it could be, it's not really the most valuable player. It's, this guy was the best player, put up the best numbers this year. James Harden last year,
So they go by
for
percentages,
example,
not by person's
points per
favorite.
game or, triple doubles with Russell Westbrook the year before. I'm going to tell you this. The reason I think that Kozart is not getting as much love, but why he should, if you take him off this team, they might win 6 games.
Yeah.
Now, with the schedule they play, they might win 4.
I'm not sure they'd win 6 games.
Yeah, that's what I'm
one. And I'm with you on that. But he gets hit so much.
Yeah.
And if there's another kid, look, there's all kinds of teams we don't see. If there's another kid who gets hit as much as he does, somebody tell me. I mean, he literally should be at the free throw line every game, minimum of 15 free throw attempts, some games 20, 25. And the other thing is, what would happen is some of the teams that are beating Madison Central, they'd have to go to their bench earlier because their kids would be in foul trouble and fouled out. And by the way, I'm talking about being fair, and I'm just shocked how much he gets hit. Really shocked.
To me, now obviously Michael Moreno is an amazing basketball player, and
Did he make
David
it
Johnson
on
the same
list?
way. There was 3 people from the 11th region alone: Michael Moreno, Kyle Rote, who you and I saw in the All-A Classic Championship game, and Isaiah Kozart. You also had David Johnson from Louisville Trinity, Kiki Tandy from University Heights.
Injured, right?
No, he's still playing.
No, he's
now,
still
Dante
playing.
Allen is the guy
that's
injured. He's also on the list. So there's a lot of guys that have been injured, that have missed some games. To me, you take off David Johnson from Trinity, and he's not played much this year. They're still a top 15 team. Michael Moreno, the same thing with Scott County. You take their best player off their team,
they're still
the number 1 team in the state. So, to me, if you add all that up, you take away Kiki Tandy from University Heights, they'll probably still win some games, but nowhere near the
they
team
would be
that
above
are.
500 if they wouldn't be where they are.
Not Isaiah Kozart. Isaiah Kozart, the reason that I think, the number 1 reason that he deserves Mr. Basketball is that alone. You take him off this team, and they are a very, very below 500 basketball team. And that's not a knock on any of these players.
I agree with you, but I don't agree with your argument at all.
You think it's something
no, I don't agree with your argument at all, because it's not his fault who his teammtes are.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Not his fault. Now,
but
I agree with you that they would only win 4 or 6 games. I'm with you 100%. But to say you're the best player in the state, we just philosophically disagree. Say you're the best player in the state because you mean that much your team is not good enough.
But is that what the award is, though? Is it the best player in the state, or is it the most important to his team? Like, that's
I think it's best player in the state.
Well, then if that's the case, I don't know who you give it to, because there's a lot of really good players
here's a
out
yes
there.
and a no. If Allen was healthy, this won't be popular.
Yeah.
He's a shoo-in.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Kid's averaging 42 a game. There's no whatever. And Kozart, if you take your all 5 in the state, he's absolutely first team. Okay? Moreno's kind of interesting because he's gotten more pub than Kozart, and they're number 1 in the state. Now I'm going to go to your argument. They haven't lost a game with him being out.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's really interesting, but his teammates are really good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Central, as you know, had Scott County beat, and Glenn Covington in the last 3-4 minutes said, just give me the ball, I'm not passing the ball.
Yeah,
and
they held it.
He won the game.
Yeah.
I mean, he just
hit a big 3 to kind of seal the deal for him.
Absolutely. Okay, now you put Glenn Covington on Madison Central, and guess what? You think Madison Central would have 25 wins now?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd have more.
One more play.
Oh, a lot more. One more.
Yeah.
So that negates your
So you
argument.
just get one
But that's just me.
So basically, you're saying we have one superstar, not everyone else's. And I don't want to say marginal, but they're.
Well, no, actually, a couple of the young kids I think are going to be really good. I think Brown
but
and
they're
Ray.
younger.
Yes.
They're not starting right now.
No, Brown and Ray are starting.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're just inexperienced now, and the same thing could be said for Deion Cox and Preston Roberts, two guys that are getting some playing time. Cox a starter. They're older, but they don't have the experience. They have not been out there in a game versus the number one team in the state coming down the wire like Isaiah has. So that's not, again, a knock on Isaiah or this team. That's just the facts of the situation and what they are. So,
if you look at the block shots, which nobody takes into account.
They're not right.
Guy's number one in the history of the state.
Yeah.
Averages over 5 a game. If you look at the shots that we have seen that are altered just because Cozart is standing there, that's worth a lot of shots in itself. If you look at the fact that nobody gets beat up like that, then you take into account he's scoring over 20 a game. He gets 13 rebounds a game.
Right.
He's getting 5 blocks a game.
He's getting double-doubles. He's sometimes getting triple-doubles.
Yeah. What bothers me
they're not
is
taking that into account.
Exactly. What bothers me, Sam, is if he was scoring 30 a game, but only blocking 1 shot a game. What bothers me is I really believe he'd get more respect because they'd look at the numbers.
They look at his points.
I look at this kid, I'm going, he's doing everything. And here's something else, and we've talked about it. This kid dives on the floor.
Yeah.
Dives on the floor at 6'7".
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of kids doing that. And you know what? He's hustling up and back.
He
Now,
does.
should he be a better free throw shooter?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, just being honest.
He has gotten better.
He has gotten better. He's going to have to get a lot better at Western Kentucky. But when you take into account his hustle, we've seen this kid dive on the floor in big games. How many 6'7" kids do that?
Not many.
Hey, here's the other thing. Do you take into account that that's a record that's been around a long time?
Yeah.
It's not like someone's coming around and breaking it every other year.
I don't remember. I'm going blank on you.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
You know, it would be one thing if somebody was coming around every season breaking
I'm
that
with you
record.
on that, Sam.
But
Good
now
point.
it's a long record.
Yeah.
You have a superstar that's come in and now broken a record that's been a while.
Not only that, now we don't know the answer to this, but my guess is it's going to be a long time before someone breaks that.
If ever.
Because he hasn't just broken it, he is obliterated it.
He broke it in the second game of the year.
Domination.
So he's ever since then he's just added to it. So
You're right.
it's one thing to maybe break it in your last game as a player, but to do it in the second game of your senior season, you've had a full season to just add to what is your record now.
Okay, what's the fault with the media all the time? I'm not trying to be nasty. They respect offense more than defense.
Yeah.
This kid does it all.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this question, and I don't have the answer. Who's a better defensive player in the state than Isaiah Cozart? And not just for the block shots. Best in the state.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you gave award of best Mr. Basketball for best defensive player, I'm giving it to him.
Yeah.
I don't care if Allen's healthy or not. And by the way, Allen was spectacular before he got hurt.
You want to play Kentucky, obviously. So.
Well, yeah, okay, and Cozart's going to Western. Yeah. I can see why Cozart's going to Western, not Kentucky. Not a knock on Cozart. He's 6'7". If he was 6'11", Cal would be knocking on his door. That's just life as we know it. But if
that could be a factor, too, that they're taking into that consideration, possibly the level of skill.
Oh, there's no question, Sam. There is no question. You're right. Anytime a kid's going to Kentucky, he will just automatically get a love. And now, first of all, and I hear he's a great kid, and I hear he's in the gym 6 o'clock in the morning working out before he hurt his knee. I mean, the kid works like crazy. I hear he's a great kid. I hear it's a great family.
Yeah.
It's nothing but all positive. But they'll just look at, well, you look at the 42, that's just goofy. He's leading the country in scoring. But let's say this. Suppose he was averaging, to be nothing wrong with this, 28 a game. That'd be a great year. And let's say he had 10 rebounds a game, which I could see. Maybe a block. Now you take Cozart, who's at 21-22, should be 27, 28, 29 if he went to the free throw line as much as he should. He's got his double-digit rebounds and all those blocks. See, to me, it's a different ball game. But you know what the media will look at? The media will look at the fact, well, that kid is averaging 28 a game.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, listen, we got to talk about our King Brothers Used Cars Player of the Week before our next commercial break. We'll have Austin pull that up for us. This week, we picked on a guy that doesn't get much love from us. Right here in our backyard, Adam Lewis Durham from Model has had an amazing year. for Model, and he's been a scoring machine in his 4 years as a Model Patriot. And he capped off a great career with a 36-point, 3-rebound performance on senior night for the Patriots. Lewis Durham is the leading scorer for Model this year with 22.8 points per game, and he will need a big night if Model looks to knock off Madison Central in the first round of the 44th District Tournament. Now, speaking of that, next week, Monday, we have got a lot of District Tournament coverage for you. On Monday, Alan and myself will be over in Richmond and over at EKU for the 44th District Tournament. The first round will be Monday. The second round will be Tuesday, and both championship games for the girls and boys on Friday night. All those games will be on 92.5 WEKY and 103.5 WKX. So, and you can watch all those games live on WBONTV.com. Now, if you're an Estill County fan, the entire 56th District Tournament will be on 100.7 The Coyote for the boys and 99.3 WRV for the girls. At 6 o'clock on Monday, it'll be Powell County versus Lee County boys. Danny Wood and William Hardy will have that game for you on the Coyote. Then on Tuesday, Estill girls will play Owsley County girls at 6 o'clock. That game will be on WIRV. And then at 8 o'clock, Estill County's boys will take on Owsley County's boys on the Coyote. And then over there, the championship games will be on Thursday for the boys and Friday for the girls. And it should be a fun week next week as we crown.
Are going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
Because you look at Madison Southern, going to be playing Berea girls, which
Great
have an
matchup
excellent
there.
record.
Yeah.
But when Southern girls played them, they beat
Southern
Berea.
won. So.
Yeah.
And Berea's been the best team in the district all year long, minus
season.
that game. So
Right.
it'll be a very fun district tournament
And look
starting
at
next
Estill
week.
County girls. They're playing Owsley County.
Yeah.
They beat them once, and then Owsley's
Lost
beat
to
them
them
once.
Yeah.
So, and those were close, both in January. So the girls' games are going to be, not that the boys aren't going to be fun to watch, but
Well,
the girls' games are going to be tight.
The boys tournament here,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see. But it should be Central and Southern, but you know Berea and Model is going to come out, play hard, knowing that it could be their final game wearing that uniform. Those two games will be fun. And then if it's the championship game, if it is Central versus Southern, we'll get to see how much Southern has really improved over the year.
With Austin Newton
As
at the
compared to
helm.
how they were that first game of the year versus
They have a
Central.
better record, I think, anybody thought.
Yeah.
I think better than Austin thought.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And they've had a lot of weird things happen. Players coming on the team, leaving the team, a lot of injury issues throughout the year.
Yeah.
You know, you and I were over there whenever Chad Fugate hurt his foot. He's their leading scorer.
Yep.
They've
Right.
had a very
Is he
weird
back in?
year. He missed a couple of games, I
Right,
think.
but he's
so,
back in. Yeah, they're 15 and 12.
We thought he was going to miss a lot more.
Yeah.
That was you saw that act. Ooh. I'm visualizing that was bad. Well, he's young. He can come back quickly.
Guys, we are live on the Wallingford Sports Show, served up by Buffalo Wild Wings. When we come back, our Law Office of Patrick O'Neill Facebook poll is about Kentucky. We'll look at that and look at the week coming up for the Cats. Don't go away, folks. Live from Madison Central High School, this is the Wallingford Sports Show.
At King Brothers Used Cars in Winchester, you don't have to worry about the hassles of dealing with an aggressive salesman. They strive to make you feel comfortable and help you find the car you're looking for at the best price possible. Stop by today and get your key and drive off in a new-to-you vehicle from King Brothers Used Cars on West Lexington Avenue in Winchester, or stop by their Facebook page for updates and their website, kingbrotherscars.com, to check out their inventory. King Brothers Used Cars, family-owned and time-tested since 1966.
Ponchos in Irvin is your year-round stop for Carhartt Eyeside Lee jeans and boots. Prepare yourself for hunting with a huge selection of Carhartt bibs, coats, and other hunting gear. Don't forget about the big selection of hunting and work boots from Wolverine, Justin, Rocky, and more. As always, Honchos carries all the latest in Kentucky and Estill Engineer apparel and Skechers and New Balance for the little ones. The same great staff, same great personalized service always at Honchos on the Richmond Road in Irvin.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
You know the Chevy Silverado is a real pretty truck, but it's not just a real pretty truck. Get a real truck. Get a Chevy Silverado. Visit jackburford.com 24/7 and be sure to subscribe to the Jack Burford Chevrolet YouTube channel.
Escape to sports with Buffalo Wild Wings. GM Tommy Martin invites you to come watch your favorite team play at Buffalo Wild Wings, the best game day atmosphere and happy hour in town. Menu items as low as $2 each weekday 2 to 7 and again 10 till close. Plus wing specials every Tuesday and Thursday. Don't forget to ask your server about the Blazing Rewards program and see how you can earn free food. Buffalo Wild Wings, Richmond Center.
Welcome back into the Wallingford Sports Show. Austin singing the Bee Gees.
I'm trying to picture you wearing a disco shirt. I'm having a lot of trouble with that.
Well, I don't have the chest hair for it,
night.
if that's what you're thinking.
Thank goodness you don't see the shirts that I wore back then.
Not suitable for the lighting on the TV.
Well, we thought they were pretty cool back then, but that was a long time ago. Would I wear them now? No! First of all, I couldn't fit into them.
They're coming back.
They are coming back.
They're all back. No, maybe not.
Kelly had one on the other day at the office, so hopefully he's not watching. I don't want to make fun of him. But
was that from his childhood, or he just bought it new?
I think he just bought it new.
Okay.
But and it could have been an old Halloween costume. I don't know with him. Sometimes
you just said your boss is wearing a Halloween costume to work. Where are you working tomorrow?
Hopefully he's
there were
watching.
some signs in fast foods I saw, coming over here.
Were they now hired?
Yeah.
Or better yet, he could be the guy with the sign out front.
The tax place holding the sign.
Yeah.
I can do that.
What
Listen,
a future.
Samantha, we have had a busy week for a lot of our local teams. Madison Central Swim.
Oh, wow.
The cheerleading team, the wrestling team, they've all had big
I can't
weekends.
wait to tell you
Talk
all
about
about
that.
it. Yeah, it's been a big week, actually a big weekend, because Madison Central, let's just start off with them. The Madison Central cheerleaders, with the helm of Karen Feldhaus, of course, they just got back from their nationals competition where they did 2 routines. One on Friday night where they won. They went straight into finals, won the medium varsity game day. The girls are wearing their white jackets tonight here at the game.
Awesome.
Pretty exciting. Yeah, it was pretty fun. Then on Sunday night, they got to perform their 2.5-minute routine, which they got 5th in the nation, out of 90-some squads. So pretty exciting. And then Madison Central Wrestling, they just won their region. So a lot has happened this weekend. They got runners-up last year, and they won the year before. So they were expected. Do you remember they were expected to win last year? And I kept saying, yeah,
you rubbed it in on them, from what I remember.
And then they were like, oh, no, we got runner-up. So anyway, pretty exciting for them because the score, I want to read you the score because it wasn't even close. Madison Central had 273 points, and then the next closest team was Wayne County. They got second in the region, 191. 273 to 191. So they got 9 student athletes going to state next weekend.
That's pretty impressive. So all these local teams, we talk about basketball and football a lot, and even baseball. Madison Central's wrestling team, Madison Central's cheerleading team,
and their swim team.
Their
they
cheerleading may be the most
dangerous sport.
The most important because of all the championships that they have won.
Yeah.
I won't tell Coach Feldhaus that, but I will tell his wife.
They've been rock solid. They won region, they won state, and then they won a competition down in Gatlinburg, and then they just nailed it.
Well, listen, there's a big week for Kentucky. Obviously, an interesting game against Mississippi State.
It's a big week.
They had a big lead, kind of the opposite of the Florida game. They had the big lead, and then Mississippi State came back, made a game of it, and thankfully Kentucky was able to cover the 3.5 points. But when you look at this game, Alan, let's get your thoughts on it. How did you think the team played? To me, to be able to hold on to that game, they could have folded, they could have given up. But they held on. They made the plays down the stretch. Cheryl hit the huge 3 in the left wing to kind of seal the deal. What do you think we're seeing from this team as we're now getting down to the nitty-gritty? Got 2 big games this week.
Well, Cal was on Washington's case because although he had 23 points, a lot of the little things he had been doing, he did not. Yeah. That's not why the game
rebounding.
was tied. Yeah, I mean, and he missed a couple things inside and that kind of thing, but he still had 23 points. But there's the little things that Cal wants he wasn't doing, and it's always good for a coach to get on your case when you won. Besides, if they start having habits of not doing those little things, it'll be a problem. And you can have a little slippage every now and then. I'm fine with that. Too many fans are upset about what happened the other day. They beat a really good team on the road.
Exactly.
Okay, now let's think of a really good team on the road.
Yeah.
That's a good team. That's a team that's been in the top 25. Okay, so Mississippi State made a run.
They made 2 runs.
So what? You hung on and win.
Yeah.
You kept you cool. You hung on and win. And you know what? If they get to the Final Four, who's going to remember? Nobody.
Nobody.
So the fact is they won the game.
Yeah.
That's it. Could they have played better? Yes. Was it their best game of the year? Not even close. Now, are they going to have to play better against LSU?
Yes.
Yeah, let me tell you what. Both teams can rebound like crazy. My problem with the game is I hope the officials don't get 3 kids with 3 fouls in the first half and end the game.
It'll be boring.
I wanted to see both teams be able to play. But no.
You want it to be a good game where all the starters are in there.
It's a great rebounding game.
Yeah.
Not a good. It's a great rebounding game. And look, LSU could go deep in the NCAA tournament. They might not, but they could. Kentucky could go deep in the tournament. It's a really good game. They got 2 really good games in a row.
Yeah.
They're fine. I mean, they're absolutely fine.
LSU's one of those teams that's long and athletic, and those teams usually will get in and do pretty well.
Yeah, because if you have a bad shooting night, you can still rebound.
Yes.
It's a very simple property as long as you do your rebounding.
LSU reminds me in the SEC of kind of like a Florida State in the ACC, the
Little
way
bit.
they play.
Yeah. A little bit.
Long,
Yeah.
lengthy guys, and a couple of guys that can score for you. So that's
I'm
kind of what
anxious
they
to
remind
see
me
that
of.
Hagens-Waters matchup and see how that goes.
Well-
That's going to be exciting.
Well, listen to this. So we've got 2 big games for the Cats this week. Our Law Office of Patrick O'Neill Facebook poll for the sports show tonight is this. Kentucky has 2 big games. They take on LSU tomorrow night and then Tennessee on Saturday. As of right now, the tournament predictions when they came out with the seeding and everything have the Cats as the number 1, number 2 seed. If they win these 2 games, are they, at this point, if they were to win both these games, a number 1 seed? That's our poll question today. 82% of the voters say yes. 18% say no, still a 2 seed for now.
You're talking
What do
about
you
for
think?
the SEC or you're talking about the NCAA
For the
tournament?
NCAA tournament.
NCAA. Take out Virginia.
Yeah, if they win both of these 2 games,
Well, I guess you don't have to
should
take
they
out
be
Virginia.
a 1
Well,
seed?
okay,
That's who I'd
but
take out.
okay, wait a second. What is Virginia doing? And who are they going to knock off? I mean, okay, so they just lost to Duke.
Yes.
Okay, so, and their only problem has been to Duke. So, now, suppose Virginia loses, it becomes easy. Suppose Virginia has some very impressive wins.
Yeah.
Just to say, well, Kentucky will get in just because they win, honestly, is silly.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what Virginia's going to do. It's a combination of both. Now, do they make a ton better case if they win these 2? Absolutely.
So the 4 number 1 seeds right now are Tennessee and Duke, Virginia,
Gonzaga.
I mean, to me, Gonzaga's not beat. They beat Duke earlier in the year. Is that it?
Well, but here's the thing with Gonzaga. You can't blame them
For the
that the
conference
teams
they're in.
that they're now playing, the probability of them losing compared to everybody else you mentioned has diminished tremendously because of the competition. Not their fault.
And if I'm a Cats fan, with the bracket they had us in, we were in the same bracket as Virginia being the number 1 seed. I love the bracket we were in. As far as the teams we might match up with down the line, I loved where we were
but that
at.
was all speculation. You really don't know.
Exactly.
Here's what will happen. If Kentucky wins enough or wins out, what will happen is Gonzaga will drop out,
to a 2.
even if they win out, and the people in Spokane will get really upset.
Yeah.
It's not Gonzaga's fault that they don't play the schedule that Virginia and Kentucky does. It's not their fault, but guess what? It's part of it.
Yeah.
So it's possible Kentucky could get in and Virginia could get in. The caveat is what Kentucky does and what Virginia does. Believe it or not, Gonzaga is second fiddle. And I mean that with no disrespect, but look who they play.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they should not lose another game.
Yeah.
Okay, so if they lose another game, they're out. But they cannot lose another game and still be out because of who Kentucky has to play and who Virginia has to play. And that's not, I think, taken into effect really strong enough.
Yeah.
But just say if Kentucky wins 2, they're in, that doesn't make any sense.
Our Facebook poll is brought to you by the Law Office of Patrick O'Neill. Guys, thank you all for tuning in with us tonight. The sports show has come to an end.
Is it over?
But don't
I still
forget,
got questions.
we have a lot
Do we think
coming
they're
up.
going to win Tuesday?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do we think they're going to win Saturday?
That'll be interesting to see.
What do
put
you
that
think?
poll
That's what I
question
wanna
up.
know.
I'll say this. I think the Cats win by 8 tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think we lose by 4 on Saturday.
Alan?
I think you're going to bite your nails in both games.
Yeah.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Anybody going? You going
You
to the
going?
games? No.
Are you going? You got season tickets. We don't
I
have
know,
season
and I
tickets.
never get to go. I'm hoping to go tomorrow night.
Well, if you don't, call us. We'll go in your
Yeah,
place.
I got to
okay?
go to Nashville Saturday.
Guys, thank you all for
Wow.
watching us tonight.
I have to go to Nashville.
Our Facebook poll has been brought to you by the Law Office of Patrick O'Neill. If you need help with deeds and wills, workers' compensation, criminal defense cases or anything like that, call the law office of Patrick O'Neill, 606-666-2990. We've had a lot of fun tonight for our producer, Austin Hanks. She is Samantha Burford. Thank you to Dave Redding for coming on the show with us tonight. Don't forget, Sunday, the media game versus Berea College. See myself, Keith Farmer, Alan Cutler's old buddy will be on there as well.
You're going to be wearing those rolled-up shorts, just like that
I'm going to be wearing the short shorts.
Wait a second.
Shorties.
Hang on. Should we let you play because you have a lot of broadcasts to do next week? I could see you, breaking a toe. You're going to be limping in. You're going to ask me to carry the equipment because you twisted your ankle or something.
Now, trust me, we know you're not carrying any equipment. We know that.
You're damn right.
He's the intern. He's supposed to be carrying the equipment.
No, I've graduated. By the way,
he's graduated.
as we go off the air for something else, I want to leave you with one number. 149.
Just a few weeks ago, it was 121.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
This young man, Coastal, has 149 blocks.
That's a lot.
And the media across the state who does the voting for Mr. Basketball are not respecting that enough.
Yeah.
I feel better. I get it off my chest.
We all agree.
All right, folks. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the Wallingford Sports Show. We'll see you in about 20 minutes for the varsity game between South Laurel and Madison Central. Should be a good one tonight, folks. Stay tuned for that. Coming up on the stations of Wallingford Broadcasting and WBONTV.com.
At King Brothers Used Cars in Winchester, you don't have to worry about the hassles of dealing with an aggressive salesman. They strive to make you feel comfortable and help you find the car you're looking for at the best price possible. Stop by today and get your key and drive off in a new-to-you vehicle from King Brothers Used Cars on West Lexington Avenue in Winchester, or stop by their Facebook page for updates and their website, kingbrotherscars.com, to check out their inventory. King Brothers Used Cars, family-owned and time-tested since 1966.
Ponchos in Irvin is your year-round stop for Carhartt Izod Lee jeans and boots. Prepare yourself for hunting with a huge selection of Carhartt bibs, coats, and other hunting gear. Don't forget about the big selection of hunting and work boots from Wolverine, Justin, Rocky, and more. As always, Honchos carries all the latest in Kentucky and Estill Engineer apparel and Skechers and New Balance for the little ones. The same great staff, same great personalized service always at Honchos on the Richmond Road in Irvin.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find. And that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
You know the Chevy Silverado is a real pretty truck, but it's not just a real pretty truck. Get a real truck. Get a Chevy Silverado. Visit jackburford.com 24/7 and be sure to subscribe to the Jack Burford Chevrolet YouTube channel.
Escape to sports with Buffalo Wild Wings. GM Tommy Martin invites you to come watch your favorite team play at Buffalo Wild Wings, the best game day atmosphere and happy hour in town. Menu items as low as $2 each weekday 2 to 7 and again 10 till close. Plus wing specials every Tuesday and Thursday. Don't forget to ask your server about the Blazing Rewards program and see how you can earn free food. Buffalo Wild Wings, Richmond Center.